Rockstar Principles. Welcome to a special episode. Daddy!
What?
I want to watch Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, but the DVD is not in there.
Today, you get a very special bonus episode of the Rockstar Principles Podcast. Part 1 of this episode features the second half of the interview with Michael Indeglio and some awesome educational chatting about learning management systems and Schoology. Part 2 features some commercials, which we know you all love, and Part 3 finally tags in some interviews from Family Fun Night. Enjoy, Rockstars. Rock on.
Welcome to the Rockstar Principles Podcast, coming straight to you from Rock and Roll USA, covering the latest and greatest in educational leadership trends, news, and awesomeness for principals all over the world. Now, here are your hosts, the boss, John Ross, and the Doctor of Proctors, Mike Indeglio.
All right, welcome back to the Rockstar Principles Podcast. Here with Mike Indeglio again, my brother. Also the voice of the RSP Podcast. You might notice him on the introductory spiel and going to commercial and our outro. So it's a voice acting credit we also have now added to his resume, which
Very
is
lucrative.
Yes, he made a large sum on that. All right, Mike's second phase of his career, he's working for an upstart company, now much more than just upstart, but back in 2004, I believe, when they launched, or between 2004 and 2007. Schoology is a learning management system, similar to your Moodles, your Blackboards, your Canvases, all those programs that are out there. Now, I'm biased. I'll put a disclaimer in the beginning. I've been using Schoology since they launched for some of the adjunct courses I teach for some local colleges, but in no way, shape, or form are we trying to promote one particular learning management system. We're just going to have a quick chat about the future of education and how social media and how these types of platforms play into that. So with that being said, Mike, why don't you start off by telling us, what do you think is the coolest part of a learning management system in the learning world for K-12 education, and how it improves things from the time when we were in high school and middle school to now?
Oh man, we could talk all day about it. I'll say also, I do work for Schoology, but it's been really eye-opening for me from the get-go, because we had nothing even remotely close to this when we were going through school. We had the overhead AV projector. That was really the highlight of our technical. Or every once in a while they'd have those ensembles, or what not ensembles? Assemblies, performances where there'd be like 3 screens and different slideshows happening with music, and we thought that was like the future. And then when I started working for Schoology, I had to, I had never used, like we had mentioned, my college experience was different than most, so I never really got to experience Blackboard, which I think is really
very popular.
Yeah, so I started with Schoology, which is sort of cutting edge LMS technology, and so I had to go back and kind of relearn your Blackboards and your Moodles, and so I kind of took it all in at the same time, and I think my mind is blown seeing what some of our users do as far as flipped classrooms and blended learning, and just opening up the educational experience, the classroom experience outside of the classroom. The idea of going home, and here's what I think of homework. For me, what I remember of homework is going home, being done with a long school day, and then just staring at pieces of paper. And that's all I remember about homework, is pieces of paper. Or a book report that was just more paper and paper and paper and Xerox copies. That's what I remember of homework.
Dioramas in a shoebox or hanging from a hanger. Yep.
Right. And now it is, or I can give you a better example, 8th grade math. Here's what I remember exclusively of my entire 8th grade math. It was coming into school and a chalkboard just full of notes, and just copying notes down for 45 minutes and then going home. And that was school. That was math. And I hated it. I just despised it. And just yesterday, I saw some users who had put on an online quiz, online homework, and had recorded a YouTube music video of something about fractions, and it was called Repeat It. And they had done a whole music video of Michael Jackson's Beat It, but like put in math equations, and there was this whole video, and the whole classroom was in the video, and then they posted that, and all the kids had to do a discussion. So I picture now kids going home on the subway or at home, in their living room on their iPads, recording a video, looking at their homework, surfing the web on maybe a laptop, and then posting their notes. And just that interactive experience excites me. I wish I could go back in time and be in high school again, because I just would have applied myself more, because it speaks my language more. And I mean, the internet in general has done that, I think, personally, but just, I think, classroom engagement. I can also tell you right now the 3 people who were involved in class discussions. Some kids are shy. Some kids don't know the answers, need a little help. But when you move this online and you move it and you make it interactive and you let them speak their language, and we've talked about this before. Kids are now digital natives. Now we're speaking their language, and now we're giving them the opportunity to communicate in their language. And I think that we're still in the kind of Columbus phase of it, because I don't think educators have even really figured out how to tap into it very much. I think these kids, when they grow up, or the youth now, they've grown up with this technology, they really know how to use this technology, and as the technology, LMS systems in general, kind of grow with them, I think what's coming ahead a year or 2 down the road is really exciting.
So let's talk about that. Teachers today, you have some of the young ones that I know I've hired, like fresh out of college, who are very much at home with using the technology to actually enhance, engage, and create within the learning environment. However, for many of our teachers, all our LMS platforms are doing are giving them a way to post the homework, so it's easier for parents to find. Very traditional ways that we used to teach, and all we're doing is making it look a little nicer with a PowerPoint or whatever it may be. So how do we take these people, and it's not their fault, I mean, this is what they know, and how do we actually give them the knowledge and the tools to learn how to best access this machinery, this ammunition, this hardware that's available for them now?
I think that's something school's going to have to pick up on. I think that administrations have to first take the opening salvo and say, hey, you know what? We believe in this, and we want to move forward with it. Because then, once it gets in at the higher levels, I think you can start teaching it in school. And instead of just learning your facts and figures as a teacher, I've never learned to be a teacher, so I don't know what you actually learn. But I think if a good amount of time and resource was put into teaching creative, outside of the box ways to push education using technology, I think that's really what would push it forward. And like I said, kids that are growing up, the youth now, learning how to use technology and whatnot, it's going to help.
So one of the things I think that is interesting about the Schoology in general, and my experience with it has been a one-user experience. However, our third high school, our STEM Academy, uses Schoology, the Enterprise Edition. So it's the pay edition. And the one thing that I've heard from the teachers who I know there and the headmaster, the principal there, is that you as a company are very easily accessible. So if there's a question about how to do something, it's a click away, it's a phone call away, it's a chat away. In addition to schools bringing in that kind of PD, do you think it's imperative? Do you need that kind of accessibility to the company to be successful, even if you're good at this stuff?
Yes, and this is this speaks to I think startups going into the growth phase and scalability, and that's a different conversation. And whereas I think support is important, and I think helping our users through a blog, through user examples is important, and we spend a great deal of resource in making sure that our help and support team is well documented, and we try to get videos out and documentation. But I think what's most important is community engagement, and so we have a community forum. I think people helping each other, educators helping each other with ideas, with suggestions, requests. I think it's more of a community built thing, and that's why I think one of the major features that we sort of highlight that a lot of other LMSs are sort of slower on the uptake is that instead of keeping it a closed ecosystem, it's taking the things that you build within Schoology or within an LMS and sharing them. So, with free resources. If you build an amazing class, instead of just keeping that as Nick's amazing class, why not make those lesson plans or those cool assessments you've built or lessons you've built, making them a free resource so that a teacher out in Wisconsin or a teacher out in California can use it, learn it, see how you're running your classroom, see the outside of the ways you're thinking, you're bringing it to your kids, and sort of grow from the inside out.
Yeah, some of the chats taking place all over Twitter focus on the teach like a pirate philosophy. So, steal people's best ideas to make you a better teacher, help make them better teachers. So I think we've got a good opening salvo here for our conversation for Schoology, and we'll come back to that. But for closing, when I had a chance to tour your office on Friday when we came into town, one of the things I thought was super cool was these giant 65-inch TVs that were actually just following the feeds of students using the Schoology program. So why don't you close this interview with a funny story about maybe the naivete of the kids who don't think you're watching and just think that the landscape is a safe place.
Well, I will say this: I find it very interesting, and I think this is kids in general, but I guess. So I was speaking to a client not long ago, and they were talking about a really interesting course that one of the high schools is running called Digital Citizenship. And just about how just because it's your phone or your Twitter feed and you think what you're saying to your buddy is private, nothing's really private online. And that is a big change from when we were in school. I mean, it used to be, if somebody looked over your shoulder and copied your test, that was, that was cheating. Cheating is not that anymore. Cheating is people, is knowing how to protect your things and make good passwords so that nobody's hacking in and stealing your identity or stealing your homework or stealing your ideas. And obviously, it's our responsibility as companies who work in this sector to protect that. But also, what you say on Twitter is a public forum. And if you use the word Schoology, and we obviously want to know what our users think and how our users are using the platform. So we, like Nick said, we have a 65-inch screen that just shows us the Twitter feed all day of people who mention Schoology. So I mean, for language sake, I won't say it, but there, some kids are frustrated or think they're being funny and have something to say. Like, I know that how do I say this? I'll change a couple words, but there was one the other day that was funny, and the kid said, he goes, open up my assignment on Schoology. Open up my bleep on Schoology, and he hashtagged his friend, thinking it was just his friend who saw it. Meanwhile, there's 30 plus people in the office at any moment who were just laughing and saying, "Oh, okay, you thought that was secret." Or just you've told stories when you were a teacher or a principal, how kids think that what they have in their locker is their private material. Uh-huh. Well, that's not the case. It's if you behave like a normal person, nobody has any reason to go in your locker. Same thing. Kids think that they can. Bullying on the playground, as we know with stories in the news, cyberbullying has kind of changed the game. But I'll just as a warning I'll throw out there, if you think that you go into the library and someone stays logged into their Schoology account, that you can just go around posting nasty things about people on their feeds or whatnot, we can see that. We can get into it and we can read it if we need to.
So would that go for my Rockstar principal partner, John Ross, who might have hacked my Facebook account and posted some inappropriate things?
We might be able to. Well, I can't speak for Facebook, but I'm sure that Facebook could figure out what IP address that came from. I know that the first thing, of course, I hope I don't get fired for this, but the first thing I did when I got that job was I found your Schoology account and just started going in and leaving you messages.
That is true, and I know I did what was happening at that time. Well, look, we've got hours upon hours of content with interview awesomeness we can have with Mike Indeglio here, and we'll get back to it again in some future episodes. We'll have John involved in the future, and we're going to keep bringing the awesome content on the cutting edge. So for Mike Indeglio, this is Nick Indeglio for Rockstar Principals Podcast out of Astoria, New York.
Oh, wait, I have one more last thing I want to throw in there. I know you had such a great closer. I will say, if I could give any people advice right now, I'd say learn mobile developing. Learn how to program for mobile devices. My feeling is that everything is going to mobile right now. I see that our usership is exploding in the mobile. Schools are going one-to-one with the mobile devices, even more so than computers and laptops.
Yeah, like your pad devices and whatnot.
So if you don't know what you want to study in college and you like computers and things, start to learn how to develop for mobile devices, because you're gonna be set. That's that.
And now a word from our fake sponsors. But we'd really love if they were our real sponsors.
Seriously, we would love it.
Half human, half animal. Thundercats, Mama and Lion-O, each sold separately.
I'm Mumro, want the sword of Gundera.
With this secret power ring, battery not included, you can make Lion-O's eyes light up. With Battlematic action, you control their swords.
Sword is mine, Lion-O. That's what you think, Mumra.
Thundercats, Mama and Lion-O with light-up eyes, each sold separately. New from LJN.
All right, I'm here with Heather Oswald, one of our wonderful teachers here at Downingtown Middle School. She teaches our math extensions course, some math for students who are mostly below proficiency and need a little extra help. We're at our family fun night, and recently on some of the Twitter chats, they've been talking a lot about teacher burnout. So Heather, basically just talk to us about what the stressors are throughout the course of the year, how teachers burn out as the year goes on, and do events like this help?
I think some of the big stressors for teachers are the things that don't necessarily always involve the children. It's the paperwork and the meetings and contacting parents and things like that cause a lot of stress outside of the reason we got into this job, being with the children every day. I think also standardized testing makes it difficult, timelines, things like that. But absolutely, things like this is a really nice activity for us to do to kind of get together, but still have time with our families, which, we're not with all day long. So, and see each other, kind of in a different setting, in a different atmosphere. It's a really great bonding experience, and I think really helps with the school climate, which I think makes all the difference in the world. If you're happy to go to work and you're at a place that you enjoy being in and with people that you enjoy being around, it definitely helps you manage the stress a lot better.
And as we're having this conversation, Heather's little daughter is trying to grab the microphone, so she's being extremely eloquent while we have a microphone-grabbing baby amongst us right now.
Please say hi.
Get something out? All right. That sounds good. Anything else you'd like to... This podcast essentially is for aspiring principals or people already in the field of principals, so what are the kinds of things that we can do to make your lives better?
I think being there for us and I think it's really hard to fine line that principals walk between what they know is important for the whole building versus what a teacher thinks is important to them at that very minute. And just being there to listen to us when we need to kind of vent or have what's really pertinent to us at the time that maybe doesn't rank quite as high on your list on the principal's list of priorities. I think that definitely helps and makes things here very nice that we know we can kind of come to you and talk to you about things whenever.
All right. Any final words before we let you get back to your family over at Family Fun Night?
Just thank you very much for doing this for us. It's been a great night.
All right. Thanks for being here. All right, Mike Indeglio back at the end of Family Fun Night. I'm here at the table outside the cafeteria with a bunch of guests. We're just going to talk for a minute or two and find out how things went tonight. First, I have Ildy Brown. She is the Downingtown Middle School Academic Advisor and future administrator. We also have Luke Brown, who is Ildy's son, who was a part of Family Fun Night. Luke recently broke his thumb. We're also here with Denise Indeglio, my wife, who was here for the night. Talia Indeglio, our 4-year-old daughter, and Bella Indeglio, our 5-year-old daughter. So we're going to start with Ildy. Ildy, how do you think the night went?
Oh, I think the night was fabulous. I think everybody had a really good time. It was great to see everybody's kids and kind of pair the kids up to their parents and just watch the kids run around. Kind of crazy, but we had a good time, I think.
Yes, Talia.
I think it'll work.
It's working now.
It's working now.
What do you want to say about Fun Night?
Yeah.
What was your favorite part?
Was it the bouncer?
Yeah, bouncer was fun. So, Luke, do you think is it neat to get to spend some time on a non-school night with Mom and get to meet some of the people she works with and their kids?
I think,
Yeah, so an enjoyable evening. What was your favorite part?
Walking around and annoying my mom.
Annoying your mom.
How about the cookies? Did you like the cookies?
Yeah.
Cookies were good.
The clown was really cool.
Yes,
I forgot about Jimbo.
Jimbo the clown. Yeah.
Jimbo was very entertaining, I thought.
Yeah, we cut Jimbo loose a little bit early. He had a long drive back to Pittsburgh.
That's an amazing trip, but it was worth it.
He was good. So Bella, what was your favorite part tonight? You liked the bouncy house too. Yeah. Did you like getting to hang out at Daddy's school? and hanging out with all of the teachers who work at the school. Yeah. Did you make any new friends? Did you meet some new kids? Can you tell me their names? Who did you meet?
Boys or girls? They're both. One boy and one girl. Okay.
Okay, so some new friends there. And did you play with Luke at all?
I couldn't see him.
You couldn't see him. Yeah, he's hard to see. It's like you can't see me with John Cena. So Denise, what did you think? Did you have a good time tonight?
Yes, I had a wonderful time.
Yeah, what was your favorite part about the evening?
Meeting the teachers.
Ah, and did you meet some you haven't met before?
Yes.
I think a lot of the teachers were saying how they've heard so many stories about everyone's families and spouses and kids, and just putting names to faces was pretty cool tonight. So it's a chance to do something different, right?
Yes.
Yeah. All right. So Ildi, any just as you see from both ends, you're a partial administrator and you're still living in the teaching world. So what was your perspective on just kind of having a different view on teachers here with their kids and families?
I just think that this is a staff that just enjoys spending time together in general. Whether you're a first-year teacher or you're a veteran teacher. I mean, we had some teachers here that had older kids here too. So I think that it was just nice just to get together and without any responsibilities to teaching or to the job, and just be here as friends.
Hang out.
Nice, yeah.
Yeah, we even had some people here tonight that didn't have kids.
That's true.
Yeah.
We did.
Just came to hang out.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're gonna wrap things up here at the Rockstar Podcast from Family Fun Night. Luke, any parting words?
We'll do it again.
Let's do it again because I really liked it.
All right. Well, it sounds good to me.
More clowns.
More clowns. We need more cowbell. We need more clowns.
More bubbles.
All right. Well, signing out from a Family Fun Night.
Thank you.
And now a word from our fake sponsors. But we'd really love if they were our real sponsors. Seriously, we would love it.
Man, I'm so bored. There's nothing fun to do around here anymore. Philadelphia area is completely boring. John, I need something high octane. What do you got for me?
What do I got for you, Nick? What do I got for you? I got action. I got intensity. I got violence. I got skill. I got grace. I have beauty on ice. That is the NHL exemplified in the form of the Philadelphia Flyers Hockey Club. How's that sound to you?
I don't know. Tell me more.
What can I tell you about a group of men fighting side by side for every square inch of ice that they can maintain during the course of a game? The beauty of a Claude Giroux wrist shot going top shelf on a goaltender. The wonder of a Steve Mason glove save as a guy comes in on him one-on-one. Zach Ronaldo checking a man into the boards, and every once in a while dropping the gloves and going toe-to-toe in an on-the-ice fist fight. It's better than wrestling! Well, I don't want to insult you. It's as good as wrestling. I've always loved Flyers hockey. I was born, bred, and raised on Flyers hockey. And if there's anything that could happen that I could get possibly some kind of shameless plug for the Philadelphia Flyers Hockey Club, I will do anything somehow get affiliated with the Flyers.
You mean like advertising their website or their Twitter feed or the Facebook page?
Like PhiladelphiaFlyers.com?
That could be, we could do that. We could probably, I'm sure you could search them on Twitter and find their Twitter handle.
Here's how dedicated I am, Nick. I've emblazoned their logo on my body for the remainder of my life in the form of a Flyers tattoo.
You mean you have a Flyers tattoo?
I do.
They should definitely retweet us.
You would think they would.
Listen to our podcast before games.
At the very least.
Give us free stuff.
Oh, that'd be awesome. Any Flyers fans that, maybe when you retire, you're thinking about getting into education, give me a buzz, all right?
With a little hookup, maybe with a little jobby job.
Go Flyers.
J-O-B.
Thanks for helping RSP top the charts in the Edu podcast world. Keep it real with Twisted Steel and School Appeal.